What is up, guys? Sunny day out here in Utah. Got the GTO in the background. I'm about to pull it out. One thing I'm going to be doing here in the next few coming days is just kind of going over the build on this car. And one thing I did recently was I installed a drag pack on a budget. So I'm going to pull the car out, show you guys everything I had to do to get this drag pack to fit perfectly, and everything I'm probably going to have to do in the future now that my car's hooking a little better. So I'll start off with the front here. What I got in the front going on: stock GTO spare rim. If you own a GTO, you probably have one of these in your trunk already. I just hopped on Facebook Marketplace, found a guy selling one local, bought a second one. I think I gave about 60 bucks for this, and for some reason I had a real hard time finding what tire, the information on what size tire to run on a GTO spare. This is what I ended up going with. I've had zero issues. 26 by 4 by 17 from Mickey Thompson Front Runner. You look at the side of the car, you know it's good. Fitment underneath, good. Obviously it's the factory spare. It doesn't rub anything, doesn't hit anything, fits perfect. Clears the brakes, everything. No modification, the correct offset, the correct back spacing. And yeah, just bought a couple of Front Runner tires and threw it on there. In the rear, what I ended up going with was this gloss black, just to match my front as much as possible. The gloss black 15 by 10 inch from Race Star. Amazing wheel, I have to say, value for the dollar. Love this wheel. It is designed for an F body, so Firebird, Trans Am, Camaro, you know. The back spacing is a 7.25 inch back spacing with a 44 millimeter offset. And with any 15 inch wheel, there's a couple of things you have to do because it's a 15 inch wheel to get it to fit. Number one, the brake line that comes off of the rear caliper has to be bent in ever so slightly. I just took a rubber mallet, hit it a couple of times, it bent in all on its own. No rubbing issues there. Number two, the banjo bolt on the rear caliper had to be ground down a little bit. You can see, maybe you can see back in there, a little bit of rub mark on my wheel where I tried to drive it at first. And I had issues with the banjo bolt rubbing. So I just took out a grinder, ground it down about a third of the way, cleared perfectly. Right now I'm on stock suspension. Those are upgraded Viking shocks, stock location, G-force axles. I'm running stock springs. Hopefully you can see everything stock location, and these wheels fit. For the tire, I went with a Mickey Thompson ET Drag 26 by 10 by 15. You could fit, I would say, a 8.5 or a 9 inch wide tire, no issues. Moving to a 10 inch wide tire, I had rub issues at the very beginning, so I had to cut my fender lip out. I would imagine that you could roll them and still clear, but I don't need them because race car. And the last modification I had to do to get these wheels to fit, I had to upgrade my wheel studs and lug nuts. You're gonna have to upgrade your lug nuts regardless, and if you only upgrade lug nuts, you can get it to bolt on. You're gonna need I'll throw a part number for the lug nut down below. And the kit I bought came with hub-centric rings. But for drag racing, they like to see a little bit of wheel stud poking out. They like to see a bolt-in valve stem. When I went through tech, that's two things they told me they let me run because it was just a test and tune. But keep that in mind. That's all the modifications we had to do this budget drag pack. So I'm into the whole setup for about $1,300. Again, Rear wheels were about $170 a piece. Rear tires $199 a piece. Front tires were $170 a piece, give or take. An extra front wheel off of Facebook Marketplace is about $70. Wheel studs and lug nuts run me about $100. All in total, $1,300. Now again, you're not going to touch a drag pack setup pretty much anywhere for $1,300 unless you're buying secondhand. Just this set of rear wheels from Weld were about $600 a piece. So basically I got wheels, tires, wheel studs, lug nuts installed, $1,300. That's how much just a couple of rear rims from Weld would be. Not knocking Weld, they make an amazing product, and I would love to upgrade to Weld one day. So lastly, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, when I switched to this setup, it revealed a few more weakest links in the car. And that's how I describe drag racing. Hunting for the weakest link. So, what I've noticed, and I'll drop a small clip in right here, is my rear wheel is hooking so well now that it's moving into the car. I'm not rubbing because I cut my fender lips out, but it's moving forward, I'd say a good inch and a half. Like I said, I'll drop that clip in right here. What that's an indicator of is my rear suspension. Now I've upgraded to the Viking shocks. I have a set of drag bags coming. I'm probably gonna have to upgrade my spring as well. But on top of those things, I'm gonna have to go through the whole rear end and change control arm bushings, subframe bushings, upgrade all those bushings to eliminate that forward and backward movement of the rear tire. When that rear tire goes, I need the whole car to go. Also, in that video that I just dropped, you'll see the front end's coming up way high. There's less rotational mass on the front end, which doesn't have a whole lot to do with it, but since I'm hooking so hard in the rear, it's picking the front end to get up a good bit, and it wants to kind of dip on the way back down. And that's an indicator of front suspension. Now I don't have to do as much here, but I am going to have to at least upgrade my struts in the front. And while I do struts, I'm probably going to go ahead and upgrade a spring. So all in all, what's next for the car is suspension. For the money, you can't beat this drag pack setup. Hey guys, so that's going to be a wrap for this video. Thanks for checking out my budget build drag pack setup on my 2006 Pontiac GTO. If you guys want to do a budget drag pack setup on your Pontiac GTO, these are some of the things that you'll be looking at doing. The F-body wheels fit really nicely with some slight modifications, and really you can't go wrong this way. Check out some of the companies I mentioned. I'll try to drop some of the links down below, maybe some of the part numbers off of Summit Racing. And please like and comment if you have any questions. I'd love to answer any questions. And maybe subscribe and stick around, because the next video I got, I'm going to be going over the full bolt-on and cam setup I got on this car and how it gained me over 100 rear wheel horsepower. And then after that, I'm going to be going over my nitrous system on this car, and then some other videos coming out in the future to include some of my maybe small interior modifications and my driveline setup and things like that. So again guys, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and God bless you all. Stay safe and have a great day.